Alright, so right now I'm driving up to Pittsburgh. For context, I have a off-campus house in Oakland, right off of Pitt. My lease ends in about a month, and I've been living at home for the past few months, and it kind of occurred to me that I haven't really gotten out enough and explored around the city. So as of recently, I've been going up on the weekends and doing some solo excursions in various neighborhoods in Pittsburgh. And why solo? Well, at the ripe age of 22, it's kind of hard to get everybody on board to go out to, breweries and cocktail bars and just random places, the common places that you find around some of these neighborhoods in Pittsburgh. But it's kind of fun to go out and do them, do a little day drinking at 4 p.m. in the afternoon on a Friday or Saturday. So that's what we're doing right now on the way up. The weather is going to be atrocious apparently. Right now the sun's kind of out, but I do have my umbrella handy once I get there. So yeah, we'll see. Right now I'm just gonna focus on driving. Okay, I got out of the rain here. I realized I didn't really talk about where I was going today. So, first gonna Uber right down to Lawrenceville in Pittsburgh. And I'm gonna be going to this place called Botanico, where I've been kind of eyeing it down for a bit. Kind of want to go there with some friends sometime, but it's kind of a smaller boutique kind of cocktail bar place. Looks like when the weather's nice out, they'll open up the kind of front windows and stuff, which obviously they won't be doing today. And after that, I'm going to walk down a little more into Lawrenceville. There's a place called Bierport Tap Room, which is a really kind of unassuming place. The top floor is like a boutique beer shop, not even craft beer. We're talking ultra craft beer. You could make they're all sold in individual beers, and you could walk out there with a 6-pack that might cost you $50 because there's some expensive stuff in there. But downstairs they have a little tap room with some stuff on draft, and even cooler, they actually have even more walls full of beer where you can just pick them off the wall, give them to the bartender, and you can pay an extra $1 to get them chilled. I went there with my dad once back in the winter, and it's definitely a cozy little spot. Then I'm going to take a little bit of a hike and go to this place called Arsenal Cider House. It's kind of in the middle between Lawrenceville and Bloomfield. It's kind of like a brewery where they specialize in ciders. And then I'm going to walk a little bit more into the edge of Bloomfield itself and go to Trace Brewing, which I've heard is really good. And they also got a food truck tonight that's sounds really appetizing, so I'll probably be getting dinner there as well. And then at that point it's probably going to be 7-8 o'clock. That might be where I call it and go back to my place, but there's a couple other places nearby in Bloomfield, so we'll see. We'll play it by ear. right, so made it up to Oakland. We're at the crib here. Gonna be calling the Uber up to head down to Lawrenceville here in a minute. Yeah, that first Uber you'll ever take when you're going on a solo excursion sometimes feels a little weird, but you get used to it. So, gonna get one of these going here in a few minutes, and then I'll see you guys down in Lawrenceville. All right, so I've arrived in Lawrenceville. I decided to get dropped off about a block away from bar Botanico just so I could get some time to walk and talk. So it's popping out here, a little bit of a drizzle, but I don't think a lot of people are really walking around to head into Denny's place. So I expect to walk in and probably be one of the only people in there, but we'll see. I do have an idea what I'm gonna get. They got a little bartender's choice on the menu, which I'm a big fan of. I like kind of just not knowing what I'm gonna get, and looks like it's actually right to the left of me, so I'm gonna cross over, head inside, get what I want, and keep you guys posted. Okay, change of plans. They open at 5 and it's 4:45 right now, so I'm close enough to that Bierport Tap Room, so I think I'm gonna just go there first rather than stand out here for 15 minutes. Don't really think there's anything else worth popping into in the meantime, so I figured I'd go for the fancy cocktails first, but I guess we'll flip it around. All right, so I'm in the Bierport Tap Room now, down their tap room. I'll do a little pan around in a second, but you know, you can tell down here it's pretty dim, it's pretty cozy, but yeah. All right, so here's what it looks like in the Bierport Tap Room. As you can see, they got tons and tons of stuff here up on the wall that you can just pick out. You can grab it and just hand it to the bartender. You can also pay an extra $1 to get it chilled. I just grabbed one out of the fridge just so it was actually ice cold. I got some odd little Fruity Pebble cheesecake thing, so it was pretty good. There were a couple people here. That's why I was talking kind of quiet before, but now I'm officially the only person down here, so it's nice, it's peaceful, got some music going. Kind of what I expected for this time of day, especially with the weather outside. All right, so now I'm actually walking down to Bar Botanico for real this time, so it's starting to thunder a little bit, so good timing. Alright, so I'm in here in Bar Botanico right now. It's low-key bumping. So I did get my drink. I went with the bartender's choice. I named like a few different preferences. I went with some savory, peppery. I saw they had a lot of like Asian-inspired liquors in some of their drinks. So she named off everything that was in here, but I actually can't remember. There was like a lot of things, so I'm gonna give it a little sip. Wow. Okay. That's actually really good. One of the things that was in it was the like sticky rice vodka, and I can taste that heavily. And there's also some like basil oil in it. I wish I knew, and I think some like white pepper as well. Yeah, that's probably one of the best drinks I've ever had. So I wish I remembered all the details, because maybe I'd get the stuff and make it at home. But yeah. All right, so we got our second drink. It's called the Manana Serra Bonito. Oh yeah. It's a little more, I guess, sour compared to the last one. This got that sticky rice vodka as well. You already know how to get the green olives. I've been addicted to these lately, so how to get a little snack. All right, so we do got a little bit of thunder out here, so hopefully I can get some good luck and not get struck by lightning. But we're hiking up basically a big hill right now to get to Arsenal Cider House, and rain's coming down pretty good, but yeah, we should hopefully be there in the next 5 minutes. Just hope don't get electrocuted. All right, so we are now head back to the last destination because my phone is actually dying, which I was not anticipating on, but we are now heading up to Trace Brewing, where they do have some food for me. Got like a Japanese sando food truck there that I've heard of, and you'll only be able to spot it when you go to a brewery, which ones they're at. But yeah, Arsenal Cider House is pretty cool. Everyone, for some odd reason, was sitting out back outside, which it's really not the weather for that right now, and I was the only person sitting inside, but I was playing it safe, so wasn't risking sitting out in the rain. So not sure if they have it all set up with umbrellas and whatnot, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Definitely would return here in the future. Coming up on a busy intersection here. We got a police officer talking to a driver over yonder here at this marathon. The sights you'll see down here in the city, but gotta love it. Catch you at Trace Brewing. All right, so I made a business decision. We're gonna make one more stop. Head over to Froggy's bar here on Liberty Avenue in Bloomfield. Only ended up having one beer at a Trace Brewing. The sandwich I got was incredible, so I figured I'd round myself out and not get two there. We'll get another one at a different place. So gonna walk up Liberty Avenue here and see what Froggy's bar is like. All right, so we made it. We're at Froggy's bar right now here in Bloomfield. Got myself a Guinness, because I'm Irish, of course, so let's try and split the G. Nope. All right, good afternoon. It is Saturday, day 2 up here at the college house. Plans fell through for tonight, so I'm probably gonna be driving back home later in the afternoon. But I'm still gonna commit to my original plans to go get some food and beer here in the early afternoon. Gonna be walking down to the Southside Works. It's about a 20-minute walk, I'd say. The weather's actually pretty nice out right now. I think there's a chance of rain later, so hopefully it holds up. But yeah, taking a little bit of a scenic route down there, across the hot metal bridge and down some classic Pittsburgh steps. Figured why bother getting an Uber for that sort of, not short walk, but a manageable walk. But yeah, I'm gonna be heading down to Hofbrauhaus first. I was gonna do this in the other order, but I'm gonna get on to Hofbrauhaus. Hopefully their back beer garden's open, because it is pretty nice out right now. Gonna get a couple big beers there. If you haven't heard of Hofbrauhaus, it's a nationwide chain hailing from Germany. They got good food there, and obviously really good German beer. And then after that, I'm gonna go to Nanjing Soup Dumplings, which is a Michelin star recommended Chinese restaurant specializing in soup dumplings. I've had it a few times, but I've only been there in person once. I usually end up door dashing it. So I'm gonna go sit down there. And it's one of those places that's pretty cool that it's actually here in Pittsburgh, because they have a lot of locations in New York City and kind of in the Philly area, DC, Boston maybe. So it's pretty cool when they bring a chain like that to Pittsburgh. Definitely shows kind of the growth of what options, food-wise, you're gonna get here now. So yeah, I'm gonna get to this walk. Figured I would give a little view here to the Pittsburgh City steps that I'll be taking. These are down at the bottom of Lawn Street here in Oakland. Up there, you can see that road. That's Bates Street in the back. That's the road I would have been walking down if these didn't exist. So this really speeds things up. These if you're taking these city steps, I've had friends take them before, and they, got kind of mad at me when I gave them this route. It does get a little grungy. To get this to the steps at the top, had to, walk down to a dead-end road, and then you end up shooting off onto a little gravel path. And finally, you come up on the steps. As you're coming up on them, you're not even sure if they actually exist still. It's not until you finally are right up against them, you're like, okay, steps are still here. And yeah, sometimes you just gotta trust the process when you take the steps shortcut. Just like that, we've made it back to civilization. Final little stretch here at Bates Street until we turn on to 2nd Avenue here, and then the Hot Metal Bridge is basically just a couple minutes up to the left. Okay, now we've officially made it to the scenic part of this route, the Hot Metal Bridge. Plenty of people will be biking, get a nice view of the city down here in the river. But yeah, overall, this is a pretty manageable walk. I'll probably Uber back, I'm not gonna lie, but it's a little hot out, kind of sweating up a little more than I expected, not a little more than I'd want to. But yeah, we're probably it's like 5 minutes out. And honestly, the walk's broken up into so many little kind of parts. It starts with walking from my house to the steps, which is like, only like 3 to 5 minutes, if that. And then walking from the steps down, then getting to the bottom of the hill to the light, and that's another kind of boring part, because there's the road that the steps spit you out onto is a little windy kind of back road that's kind of hidden, and then you walk a quick little portion to get to the bridge. And once we cross this bridge, we're basically right in the heart of the Southside Works, where Hofbrauhaus and all these other, got some traffic, and everything else that's the soup dumpling place as well. But yeah, I'm gonna pay attention to my surroundings, because apparently I'm in a couple people's ways. Yeah, that's, if you see that kind of white tent, that's actually the beer garden behind Hofbrauhaus. I'm honestly not sure if that's actually it, but if you see that little brown roof right there, so that's how close we are. It's right off this bridge, basically. Feel the cold against my face. Alright, so slight change of plans briefly. I went inside the Hofbrauhaus, and the beer garden does not open for 30 more minutes. But luckily, they got this. They got the little cart out here that is open. So I figured, you know what, I'll just come out here then. And who knows, maybe in 30 minutes I'll decide to head back in there. All right, so we're out here at the beer garden now at Hofbrauhaus. It's nice out, a little sweaty. Could go for some AC, but yeah, we're gonna hang out here for a little bit. Got a couple. They did open up at 2, so I was like one of the first people to walk in the door. But yeah, I got one of their the Hefeweizens. You can see the view back here. It's pretty nice. I got benches and whatnot. Really good place to come here with a group. Alright, so driving back home now. So that's the end of the excursion.